Hello and welcome to That TV Comedy Podcast. I'm Jackie J. Sarah and my co-host is
Amanda Davis.
For each episode, we'll be taking a look at a television comedy series, breaking it down with a focus on a specific episode, giving us a bit of a deep dive, geeking out about it, and generally discussing it. We will be taking it in terms of picking a series, so it may not be something we have seen. So we're 2 episodes down. How are you feeling about this, Amanda?
I think it's gone well so far. I think we've had some really highbrow discussions.
Highbrow, yeah. That's the word. In this podcast, I want to keep it real. So the conversations between us are the conversations we have in real life. One of those conversations was this week when my sister's husband was told about this podcast and he said, who would want to listen to that? So thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening, because not even her husband wants to listen to this. I'm so pleased. Actually, pleased is not the right word. I'm so bereft that I don't have a husband who can support me in that manner.
Can I just say, though, that once I explained what the podcast actually was, he said, actually, that sounds quite good.
No, it's too late now.
Truth.
Yeah. This week is my choice, and it is Ted Lasso. Amanda, tell us about Ted Lasso.
Jack's actually picked something I've watched and
Oh,
loved
yeah,
this
that's
time.
true.
Yeah, rather than something I've never seen before. Ted Lasso is an American sports comedy drama series developed by Jason Sudeikis, Bill Lawrence, Brendan Hunt and Joe Kelly, based on a character Sudeikis portrayed in a series of promotional media for NBC Sports coverage of England's Premier League. Ted Lasso hit TV screens via Apple Plus, premiering on August 14th, 2020, and ending with the final episode release on May 31st, 2023. The 3 seasons contained a total of 34 episodes. IMDb describes the show as American college football coach Ted Lasso heads to London to manage AFC Richmond, a struggling English Premier League soccer team. The series has an overall rating of 8.8.
Why isn't that higher?
I was surprised.
Yeah?
Really surprised that it didn't have 9 point something.
I think people are too cynical.
They need to believe, Jack.
They need to believe. I think you're right. I think it's cynicism because it's not based in fact. If it was based in fact, I wouldn't be watching it because it's about football.
Exactly.
And football is boring as you know what. So yeah, I'm going to be controversial from the start. It is about a subject I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah, and I'd agree. I'm not a fan of football either.
In the programme, Lasso tries to win over the sceptical English market with his folksy, optimistic demeanour while dealing with his inexperience in the sport. And I think that's why people don't like it. Because he's an optimist.
He's an eternal optimist.
Yeah, but he also has his own problems.
Yes, as we see as the series progressed, we could see that Ted was struggling himself, but was determined to be the best person he could be for other people.
Yeah. This is why I picked this one quite early doors. And we've got a complete series because it's 3 seasons, but I don't think we'll be doing any real spoilers. Obviously, we're going to be talking about an episode, which there'll be spoilers all the way through, but it's a season 2 episode. So if you haven't watched it, please get onto it. Unless you hate optimism and people being nice to each other and people helping each other and good winning over evil. If you're not interested in any of that, skip ahead. Actually, go back to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Because...
No, we're not controversially saying that Ted Lasso is much better than It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Absolutely not. No,
Phew.
Don't panic. It's
we're not
different.
Starting that. It's different.
Yeah, I would say this goes into the comedy drama, whereas It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a sitcom.
Yeah.
It was more sitcom in the first season, but when they started doing extended episodes and getting into the characters' lives, this is a comedy drama. A feel-good comedy drama.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if there's sad bits in there.
But I think you need the sad bits.
You can't make me laugh if you can't make me cry. let's hit the ground running on Ted Lasso. Welcome to the show.
This episode was chosen by Jack, so tell us what it is.
It is season 2, episode 9, and it's called Rainbow. The description on IMDb says, Nate learns how to be assertive from Keely and Rebecca. Ted asks Roy for a favour, and Roy reconsiders his future. It has an IMDb rating of 8.9 out of 10, but Jack, that's me, has a rating of 10 out of 10. And what I says is right.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it a 10.
Oh, you wouldn't give anything a 10?
No.
No.
Tough. No, there are certain things that would get a 10. I would rate this episode as a 9.7.
Oh my gosh. A 9.7. Do you understand maths? Do you understand a 9.7 is a 10?
Oh, if we're rounding up.
Yes.
Only. But we're talking about IMDb ratings here.
This is my favourite episode of Ted Lasso. In fact, I watched it and I thought, I'm giving up writing because I'll never write anything as good as that. And I haven't given up writing.
Because you've got to believe.
But I'll say this, I still won't write anything as good as this.
This was written by a team.
It was written by a team,
So
yeah.
it's working together. So you never know. You might work with a team that helps you to write a 10 in
Brings
my
out
book.
the best in you. And it's like Ted Lasso itself.
Segue.
So yeah, obviously this is about rom-com.
Yes, communism. No, rom-communism.
Communism.
Very clever.
So it begins with Swinging on a Rainbow by Frankie Avalon. Nate is in the Taste of Greek restaurant. Why, Amanda?
Because it's his mum and dad's 35th wedding anniversary.
So what do we think of Nate here? Because what's he getting involved in his parents' wedding anniversary?
Oh, you feel sorry for Nate because he just wants to impress his dad. He just wants to win his approval.
Okay.
And so he sees by getting the table in the window will show that he can do things.
Taste of Greek restaurant. Is it Taste of Greek or Taste of Greece?
It's called a Taste of Athens, Jack.
Flipping heck.
And that's one of my quiz questions.
Okay, so Nate has this awkward conversation with the booker, Jade.
Yes. Because
Who?
35 years is the Jade wedding anniversary.
Of course, he says Jade and she says, how do you know my name?
Exactly.
Oh. But is this just a little segue into seeing Roy Kent on screen on Soccer Saturday?
Yeah, I love that little exchange on Soccer Saturday.
Then we find out that he can't have the table in the window. Nate now, not Roy. So we jumped on.
No, Roy could have had the table.
Okay, so we're back to the team in Richmond. This is where we hear about rom-communism. So what did you think of that exchange?
I thought that was brilliant when he introduces it, communism and then no rom-communism. And then they all have a little exchange. They've all got little bits to say. A fairy tale ending where everything works out. And they just haven't been playing as a team very well. Something's not right with Captain Isaac at the moment. And I just loved that exchange in the locker room. What did you think?
Yeah, because you didn't know where he was going with it. But I did write the quote down. Look, the point is, fellas, if all those attractive people with their amazing apartments and interesting jobs, usually in some creative field, can go through some light-hearted struggles and still end up happy, so can we. Now, it may not work out how you think it will, or hope it does, but believe me, it will all work out exactly as it's supposed to. This is what I mean about the optimism. That's nonsense.
No.
That's absolute no, things do not turn out how they're supposed to. In real life, people don't get what they deserve most of the time.
That the sun always shines on TV.
It's very true. I am a fan of rom-coms, films, books. I do like a rom-com. However, I do know no such things exist in the real world. They're put on the planet to
entertain,
and that's all they are. Rom-coms are entertainment.
Fantasy.
We're not supposed to go out into the real world and think this is how the real world works. And I think that's where a lot of people trip up.
Would they enjoy it as much if it was reality?
No, don't get me wrong. This is why this is good. Because it's actually about love of football. It's not about romantic love. But love obviously exists, but not romantic love.
They need to fall in love with the game again.
Yeah, it's about falling in love with the game. And
fall in love with working as a team. Did you like the next little bit in the office when they decide that something's wrong with Isaac and somebody needs to talk? I did like the reference about Isaac, the captain should have a word, and they said, well, Isaac take himself aside would be like messing with the space-time continuum.
Any reference to Back to the Future, and Amanda's there.
Yeah, I was there for that. Loved that.
Nate wants to speak to him.
Oh.
And they laugh, and then they realise he's serious. There is a bit of a romance in there, though, because obviously Rebecca is on the banter app.
She is.
And she's speaking to an unnamed person. Who we know is a man, but that's about it.
At this stage, yeah.
And
banter, a place where minds can come to undress.
If we're talking about love stories, we got to talk about Rebecca and Keeley.
Yes.
It's not often you see a friendship like this on TV. Neither of them are in competition with each other. No. It's all about support.
Exactly. They both want each other to have the best.
Yeah. There's no nastiness, there's no bitchiness, no gossiping behind each other's back. And we see that so often on television, women not supporting other women.
Did you see the product placement, though? The Nespresso machines?
Yes. They were given out to all the players.
Yeah. So, and Keeley wanted them to put a post on Instagram about it.
Yeah.
But it did make me laugh when she told Colin, don't make it about Welsh independence this time. No. It made me chuckle.
It's obvious to people in Britain, I think, but maybe not out in the wider world that we are Welsh. We're British and Welsh. But honestly, I can't see me, oh my gosh, am I going to be controversial again? I can't see me ever putting a post out about Welsh independence. I don't really put political posts out anyway.
Because
join me on Instagram, Jacquie J. Sarah, please do. I don't get really involved in the politics of it all. And talking about Wales, there's a little joke about Wrexham FC. Higgins refers to an email he received from Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, who had just become owners of AFC Wrexham at the time.
He didn't say McElhenney, though. He said McElhenney. He didn't quite say it right, and I thought, they should have checked that.
Yeah, but to be fair...
Am I being harsh?
No, Ryan Reynolds hadn't done the song by then.
Of course.
So how would he know?
He said he didn't care when he's been questioned about it in an interview.
Can I ask you how you feel about Davis being said wrong? Because a lot of people go... It
bothers me.
Davies.
I don't like Davies.
No, it's not right, is it?
It's not right, no.
And
I understand where it comes from. However, if your surname is Davies and you pronounce it Davies, good luck to you.
But who are these people? Who's are these people that pronounces it Davies?
I think it tends to be more Americans or Australians who say it as Davies. So I just always make it clear that it's Davis.
So yeah, there's a little Wrexham joke. And then we get to the heart of it. Higgins. He's got a ringtone, Rainbow by the Rolling Stones, which is where the title comes from. And it was a play in the moment he met his wife. The actor that plays Higgins' wife, Mary Roscoe, is his real-life wife.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And when he said he's been married for 29 years, that's how long he's been married to Mary Roscoe.
Oh.
But he had some really good advice for Rebecca about dating. Just be yourself. Maybe it's good advice when you're Rebecca, but it's not really good advice for everyone else.
You'd sit on a throne of lies if you weren't yourself.
Please,
nice little
please don't talk about that film. It's one of the worst films of all time. Nate wants to be famous, apparently, so he can get a table in a restaurant at Taste of Athens. I mean, I get it. Wanting to be famous so you can have things that you can't
get free stuff.
Yeah.
Because he did want an espresso machine, didn't it?
She wouldn't even give him an espresso machine.
And I thought that was a bit mean because there was some left. They didn't want them.
Yeah, mean.
And then she's giving him advice later, and I thought, oh, you could have actually built him up a bit by getting him a machine in the first place. Come on, Keeley. Help the guy out.
Give a guy a hand.
At this stage, I'm sorry for him. Obviously, spoiler alert, things change later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so he asks Keely and Rebecca for advice how to be confident. And Rebecca shows how to make herself big.
Yes, that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah. So do you ever do that? If you're going, I don't know if you ever do things that, you know, when you go into a room with strangers, and do you ever do anything to build yourself up like Rebecca does to make herself big?
I didn't think about it as making myself big. And I thought it was really interesting that somebody of her height as well, and maybe that's why they wrote it, that even though she's tall, she feels small, so she makes herself even bigger. I hadn't even thought about it. Obviously, I would try and build myself up, but I don't think about it as making myself big.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person who tries to make myself smaller.
Yeah.
If anything. It doesn't mean that I think I'm big in the first place. It means that I don't want to be seen as big. So I would try to make myself even less noticeable.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, isn't it? Because all you're doing by making yourself seem small is making other people feel better, not necessarily yourself.
It's true. I hadn't even thought about it until watching that. And I thought, I like that. That's something I could try. No. But as in take that on board and think, how can I make myself bigger?
Yeah, no.
So have you done anything like that before?
Made myself big? No. I'm not you. I have complete social anxiety. So I struggle to go into a room with people I don't know, and I've had to do it. It's not my favourite thing in the world to do, but yeah, I do have to do a lot of self-talk before I can walk in. Yeah, but I'm still not there in terms of commanding space in a room. Kent is in a kebab shop.
Yes, but it's not just any old kebab shop, is it?
No.
This is his church.
It's his church. Big confession time. As a meat eater, I've never had a kebab in my life. I've never been in a kebab shop.
Never?
Ever in my life have I eaten a kebab. Even after alcohol. I don't know why it doesn't appeal to me.
I think it appeals to a lot of people after a certain amount of alcohol, doesn't it?
No, some people just love kebabs. They must do. There wouldn't be all the kebab shops around.
No, exactly. I have no idea. I've never tried one.
No, it's different because you're vegetarian.
Yeah, but I have never tried, and I've never fancied one either. There'll be people listening to this thinking, "Oh my God,
I know
they are nuts. There's nothing better than this kebab."
Exactly.
No, each to their own.
Maybe that should be on a bucket list somewhere.
You did have.
What did I have
on your bucket? Do you remember this one? I went to Scotland.
Oh yes, it wasn't deep fried Mars bar.
Yeah,
with the batter.
Yeah.
That was quite nice.
Oh, so sweet.
I've only ever had that one in my whole life, by the way. I haven't had one since.
So maybe you should have a kebab.
Yeah, maybe I should.
But not from a dodgy late night kebab shop.
I'm not really in a place where I drink a lot of alcohol and hanging out in late night kebab shops.
No, exactly.
I'm not in that stage of life, man.
But you could try a kebab.
Yeah, this podcast was brought to you by kebab shops. Get a kebab today.
Did you know this was a food podcast as well?
Oh, great. Get Waitrose to sponsor us. No, it'd be us. If we get sponsorship, it'll be obviously Lidl. Lidl's a happy shopper.
Yeah, never wrong. Yeah.
Pound shop.
Well, yeah.
Lidl is actually too good for us. You were right. You're absolutely right. We're talking pound shop.
Okay.
Bargain Basement would like to sponsor that TV comedy podcast.
Bargain booze. I wouldn't say no.
You wouldn't know. I'd have to say no. Oh.
No. Anyway.
In the past life, we were talking about a little program called Ted Lasso.
Way back when.
Way back then. So
Roy was in the kebab shop.
Which is his church.
Yeah.
And what was the picture on the wall?
Roy Kent's pictures on the wall.
Yeah, but there was somebody else famous. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you got me on something. I'll probably remember now when you say it.
George Wendt?
No, I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
That's Jason's uncle.
Maternal uncle. Norm from Cheers.
I didn't notice it.
These little Easter eggs.
Little nuggets.
Oh, there's so many of these little Easter eggs in there. Yeah, there's pictures on the wall, and Roy Kent is one of them, but one of them is Norm.
I didn't realise that. I loved this little scene, and it had just this brilliant message about always going back to the why. Why did you do something in the first place? the speeches that they started doing.
Yeah.
He's on a roll, isn't he? He knows them all.
He knows far more about rom-coms than he does about football, put it that way.
Definitely. Got Joe Maguire, we had Notting Hill.
Yeah.
But Roy said, no, he's moved on.
He's moved on, man. If he can't play, he doesn't want to be on the pitch, which is sad. Ted asks for Roy's help.
Yeah, with Isaac.
So he arranges for Isaac to play a football match.
It was interesting. They went back to where Roy had started.
Yeah,
so
where
he's
Roy
going back to the why.
Which is what Ted wanted all along, wasn't it? It was 2 birds, 1 stone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was good as well, wasn't it? It was very clever. To remind Roy why he fell in love with the football game. Roy did that on his own. Ted didn't set that up.
No, he planted the seed because he knew that Roy was smart, even though he liked people to think that he was just a ruffian.
He was a natural coach.
Yeah.
Go back to Nate. What about his method for making himself feel big?
Oh, no, I didn't like that.
No, I didn't.
Because he misunderstood the message of making yourself big.
And that is going to be the problem going forward.
And I think, it was a really good starter for what's to come. But, as soon as he did that, I thought, oh, no, you've got it wrong.
Yeah.
That's not what she meant.
But he got his table in the window. And he asked Jade out.
But I didn't see the fuss because they came in, they said you can't book the table, but there was nobody sat there. And when he asked, why, I didn't understand why they said no. They got the seat in the window, he felt big.
Yeah.
He felt buoyed up, so he asked Jade out. And she said, no, I'm fussy.
I'm picky.
Picky, sorry, not fussy.
She's
the same
picky.
thing. And I felt good for you.
Yeah. She's not picky, we find out. No, I'm joking. Isaac falls in love with the game again. So there we go. One love story done, dusted.
Yep.
Now, the conversation afterwards where Ted and Roy are walking away. Ted's speech is comprised entirely of rom-coms. Yeah. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah, and he started it in the cafe, hadn't he?
Oh, yeah, totally.
He's doing it all. He's pulling out his complete arsenal of rom-com speeches to no avail.
Ted tells Roy, when you want to spend the rest of your life coaching with somebody, you want the rest of your life to begin ASAP. Okay, confession time. After watching this scene, I decided I wanted to watch When Harry Met Sally again. I haven't seen it for years, but to me, that is your ultimate. And it's because I was young when it came out. I probably was early teens. It was out in 1989.
How does this work? I'm 26.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good point. So to me, every rom-com has to stand up to When Harry Met Sally, and none has, by the way. But I think a lot of rom-coms after that were trying to live up to When Harry Met Sally. Parts of this is borrowed from there. The old-fashioned swing music. It's barely dated because they didn't pick 80s music for it.
Classics.
Yeah, they picked landmarks in New York to put the scenes around, so that doesn't really feel dated.
What about the attitudes in that? Because I can't quite remember it all. Or is it still...
In attitudes towards what?
Dating?
It was talked about a lot of the time. Because Harry says men and women can't be friends because the sex always gets in the way. So it's about the sex, basically. Of course, that was eye-opening in the 80s. Can't talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan is amazing in it. She was 28. How has she not had this amazing career? And it's because, don't get me on a rant of aging women. And I'm glad it's changing now. People like Reese Witherspoon is changing things. You know.
But they're having to be in charge.
They have to do it on their own.
In order to actually get the work.
Yeah. I'm glad in a way because it means they're the ones making the money from it.
Yeah. But it's sad that they have to do that to get the acting work they deserve.
Yeah. The reason I'm talking about it, because this is what comes up in the programme, it's really low stakes. Billy Crystal running to Meg Ryan at the end. Because he's running like mad and he can't get a taxi and he's got to get to the place to speak to Meg Ryan. You could just see her in the morning. It's not like she was getting on a plane or anything. She was just bored at a party, basically. It's really low stakes. Yeah, say it, go on.
Wants the rest of his life to start straight away.
Exactly, which is what Ted just said. But this is the point. That's really low stakes. But how many rom-coms now is a man running to tell a woman or a woman running to tell a man? There we go. So yeah, this whole conversation, to go back to our wonderful Ted Lasso, did you pick up all the rom-com in everything that Ted said?
I'd heard him referencing Jerry Maguire. I'd heard him referencing Notting Hill.
So he says, Jerry Maguire, you complete our team. Notting Hill, he says, I'm also just a coach standing in front of a boy, asking him. And there was another one as well he references. Roy says, listen, I'm never coming back to Richmond. And Ted says, as you wish, which is from The Princess Bride. And so we're getting to the meat and bones of the episode now. Nat King Cole, Love, plays. Glimpses of the crowd.
Yes, we're coming up to the game with Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, a man puts his arm around his male partner. A man gives his coat to a woman. And let's talk about the older couple with their Harry met Sally moment.
Yes.
So they break the fourth wall and explain their love story about how they met and got together, and they're suing the Titanic for stealing their story.
Yeah, that was so funny, wasn't it?
That shouldn't work. They do break the fourth wall in one of the final episodes. Ted Lasso does it. Somebody says something, I don't want to be too spoilery about it, but somebody says, oh my gosh, is there cameras in the room? And the coach and Ted look around the room pretending to look at cameras, and Ted does look at a camera purposely.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, so he breaks the fourth wall then, but I think that's the only other time. This couple from nowhere break the fourth wall, and we don't know who they are. Just spectators, supporters, yeah. So did that take you out of the story at all? Or did you feel within the realms of that programme?
I felt it was totally in keeping, because they were talking about the build-up to the game, and then you had the clips in the studio. So I think it was totally in keeping with that.
That's how I felt.
I didn't think it distracted at all. It was just a little jokey, light-hearted moment before get back in.
We go back to Soccer Saturday, which for people outside of the UK is a real programme on Sky. And he comes out of Sky Studios in the end. And the presenters are real presenters, obviously, apart from Roy and George.
Yeah.
But the other two, I think, who is...
Jess Stelling and Chris Kamara. I think they've both retired now.
There we go, then. In reality, Soccer Saturday existed, and Kent gives a heartwarming speech. When asked to give an insight into a player, he says he doesn't know.
Yeah.
All they can do is speculate. And he gives a speech about being on the outside, looking in, which is not a nice place to be.
I think it was funny when he was getting them going, and he says to Jeff, and Jeff's like, I know. It was quite funny. He's like, you understand. And then he starts running.
Rainbow plays by the Rolling Stones. We know we're getting to the heart of it now when we hear Rainbow. But yeah, it's snowing.
What it is.
But it's a race against time, because this game started, man.
Yeah, you've got to get there to the game.
Roy flags down a taxi, and he has to pay the taxi driver off to get to Nelson Road.
Yeah, but I was thinking, why do you have to give him all of the money? It's obviously why, in the next clip.
Yeah.
Why he has to give him all the money. Because then he's giving the other guy the watch.
And his knee is given out, so he can't run. It did hurt. I just heard it.
No way, knocking it back into... Oh.
Did you notice it was a rainbow bag as well?
Yes.
Lovely touch. But the bouncers doesn't believe it's him, so he can't get in the ground. In previous episodes, it's been established there's always a ticket waiting for him. Ted has set that up.
Ted's done it.
That's a bit where Higgins sees his wife and hugs her.
Yeah.
And then Roy puts his knee into place and strides onto the pitch. This is this race against time, which is not really a race against time. It's quite low stakes again.
It's his Jerry Maguire moment, though.
The crowd start to sing. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Roy Kent, but he's home, man. He's home. It's home where his heart is.
You had him at... Is it you had me at team, is it?
No.
Or you had me at coach?
You had me at coach.
There you go.
Oh, he's back where he belongs. But...
Nate's not happy.
He's not happy, is he? So yeah, what an episode.
Great episode.
Now it's the part everyone's been waiting for. Well, just Amanda, really. Because she wants to win. It's time for the quiz. Do you want to start?
Now, I can't believe I've actually already told you the answer to this earlier. What is the name of the Greek taverna that Nate wants to eat in?
It is Taste of Athens.
Well, I could be pedantic. It's called a taste of man. I'm not.
Knowing you, yeah, you would be pedantic.
I'm pedantic.
Okay. Name 3 actors named in Ted Lasso's opening speech about Rom-communism.
Actors?
Yeah.
Oh, I
haven't listed them all either because I thought you'd come up with at least 3.
Okay. Tom Cruise?
I don't know if he mentions Tom Cruise.
What? They keep doing Jerry Maguire? This is terrible, isn't it?
Okay,
Come on,
then.
Give them to me.
I'll give you some. He doesn't mention Tom Cruise. He mentions Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan, Julia Roberts.
Oh, I'm thinking male. Oh, this is my bad.
Oh,
this is terrible.
Amanda.
I'm thinking men. But generally.
But there is men in here.
Renee Zellweger, he mentions her definitely.
Yeah, or Sam mentions Renee, but I would include anyone that shouts anything out. So there was also Hugh Grant, Drew Barrymore, Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, I remember these now.
And Jennifer Lopez.
Yes, because it has the conversation. I remember it now.
Man.
Oh, that is bad.
That is really bad. I think you really need to take yourself out and have a word. Okay, next.
Which wedding anniversary are Nate's parents celebrating?
35 years.
They're Jay.
Name 3 rom-coms that are referenced in the episode. Any now. We've talked about, I don't know how many.
Well, Notting Hill.
Yep.
Jerry Maguire.
Yep.
When Harry Met Sally.
There we go. Done. Easy one for you.
What is the name of the captain of Richmond?
Isaac. Don't tell me you have to have his surname.
What's his name?
His name is Isaac.
His name is Isaac, but is your name just Jack? Just Jack.
Yes, it is. Thank you for asking. I got that one right. Thank you. I don't remember his surname.
Isaac McAdoo.
Of course, McAdoo. And do you know what? My question is the name of the restaurant. So
You've got the question.
I got the question.
I couldn't even remember.
And I couldn't remember it.
Okay,
can I give you another one then? So who are the 3 Kates that referenced in the team briefing?
Kate Winslet?
Yep. God, my questions are so easy.
You've gone down the rom-com route. I'm doing general.
But it's called Rainbow. That's what it's about. Go on then. Do you want me to tell you?
Okay.
Man, if you turn your head away any further, the mic won't pick up your voice.
I'm just thinking. That's my thinking face.
You know, also, it's a podcast and people will not know you're thinking. All they hear is dead air. Now stop it.
I think
and
so.
stop.
You're just putting me off. You're putting me off now.
Stop
putting me
playing on this your laptop to try and find the answer.
No, I'm not. Oh my gosh, competitive merge.
I just thought I'd take a leaf out of your book.
That's way harsh time. Kate Winslet. Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton, please have a word with yourself. And she wants to be called Catherine. What are you, the Daily Mail?
Know, I'm terrible. I'm just a terrible person.
You are a terrible person.
All I can think in my head is Kate Winslet.
Okay, I'm going to have to tell you because honestly, I don't think I've got many years left on this earth to name 2 other actors called Kate. I'm just going to tell you, okay? Kate Beckinsale and Kate Hudson.
Beckinsale. I was thinking of Beckinsale.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't have got Kate Hudson. I know she is, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, okay.
Go on.
Which poet is quoted in the dating app message to...
Oh, shut up.
Okay, what was the quote then?
I don't remember. I don't remember that. Go on, you have to tell me. I'm not going to pretend to look away and have dead air. Go on, you just tell me.
I wasn't pretending to look away. I did look away. Rainer Rilke. Our deepest fears are like dragons guarding our deepest treasure.
Wow. And my final question, because we skipped one, is an easy one now, Manta, so don't panic. What is the name of the dating app Rebecca is on?
She's on Banter.
There we go.
But she's also on another one.
She says she's on loads, to be honest.
Okay, I got 2 questions left. I'm going to ask you both. So, what's McAdoo's player number?
10.
Oh,
close.
close.
9, was it?
5.
How was that close?
I'm being kind.
That is... Okay.
Okay, so what is the name that Roy's ticket is under?
Oh, something with R, isn't it? Something like Reuben or Reba or... It is Reba, is it?
Reba McEntire.
There.
The Queen of Country.
Queen of Country.
I've got one more if you
Go
want
on,
it.
yeah, give me another one.
Where does AFC Richmond play?
Nelson Roads.
Nelson Roads.
Yay. And I think I won that one.
I'd say that was a bit of a draw, really, this week. I think we were both equally rubbish.
And now it's time for everyone else's favourite part. It's Geek Corner. Here's Amanda with the jingle.
Geek Corner, Geek Corner, Geek, 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 Geek Corner.
Well, that's a lovely rendition.
I don't even think that's the same one as
It's no, but it doesn't matter. It saves money on buying a jingle. Fine. Go for it. Let's hear your facts.
I've got a fact.
Go.
So, all of AFC Richmond's players were named after real-life friends, family and mentors of Ted Lasso writers. However, the character Gareth Canterbury, who appeared in seasons 1 and 2, is from Slough. His name and hometown are references to
The Office.
Namely, its characters Gareth Keenan and Tim Canterbury. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That is a brilliant fact.
I love this fact.
Oh, I wish I knew that fact first. But I enjoyed the fact that you told it to me.
Yay.
I enjoyed that. Okay, so let's have some more facts about the series. Oh, this one will blow your mind. AFC Richmond isn't a real football club.
No way.
Obvious to football fans, but maybe not to everyone. I can say it's obvious to me too.
Yeah.
There is a rugby league in London called AFC Richmond and a New Zealand-based soccer club called Richmond Athletic FC. Ted Lasso is an original character, but Sudeikis has mentioned that some story beats were inspired by Jurgen Klopp, the real-life Liverpool FC manager.
X.
Yeah, obviously X. I don't know why I didn't say the word X. The episode, Make Rebecca Great Again, was inspired by Klopp taking his team to a karaoke and team bonding session. Series creator Bill Lawrence worked with Zach Braff on the TV show Scrubs. I can't make it all on my own. I'm just no Superman. What can I tell you? Lawrence said in an interview, I suckered Zach into directing an episode because he was in London. Braff directed the second episode in the first season and was nominated for a Primetime Emmy for his work. So there we go.
I didn't know that.
And Zach Braff's nomination was one of 20 Primetime Emmy and Creative Arts nominations for the first season.
61 nominations overall.
Yeah. Well done, cast and creators of Ted Lasso. After season 2 was written, Apple TV offered the team 2 more episodes, bringing the total number of episodes to 12 from the original 10. Instead of drawing out the storyline in an arc already written, they instead chose to put in 2 standalone episodes, which were, Amanda?
I don't know what they were called.
But
they were great episodes.
Yeah.
Great.
Carol of the Bells, which was
there's the Christmas one.
And that was released on the 13th of August, 2021. And Beard After Hours. Spoiler, you might want to skip the 30 seconds. But we've talked about it already, so apologies anyway. A big part of the storyline for season 2 is devoted to Nate. As his character slowly becomes disillusioned with Ted and the team, his hair slowly becomes greyer. At the end of season 2, Nate berates Ted for not displaying a picture that he gave him for Christmas. The photo, though, is briefly shown on Ted's home dresser in a previous episode, although never highlighted.
I know, that was so sad.
So the opening of season 2 is a close-up at Nate's eyes, full of hope. It ends with Nate's eyes dead as he's lost it. Brett Goldstein was initially hired as a writer only on the show, yet in writing Roy Kent's character, Goldstein said he grew an attachment to the role and just started to think he could play Roy, which is fair enough. He could.
Well,
evidently.
The evidence is there.
Yeah. Goldstein sent an audition tape to Bill Lawrence with an email saying, if this is embarrassing, you can pretend you never got this email. Luckily, he got the part.
The rest is history.
The rest is fine to history. And that's the end of Geek Corner. finally at the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, we got a lot of this stuff on the internet. And did you know?
The internet can lie.
You can contact us on Insta at TV Comedy Pod.
Contact us via our website at thattvcomedypodcast.com.
And you can email us at thattvcomedypodcast@outlook.com. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're still here because Amanda's husband won't be. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That TV Comedy Podcast was presented by Amanda Davis and Jacquie J. Sarah. It is a deliciously bright podcast. Produced by Jacquie J. Sarah. For extended episodes and exclusive content, become a subscriber at patreon.com/thattvcomedypodcast.